scare. Well, my face froze for a second. Jump scare. Hi. Hi, stream chat. Hi. It has been a while, hasn't it? Ahaha. Been a little bit since my last public stream. Hello, gamers. Nice to see you. How are we doing? Are we vibing? Are we chilling and vibing and keeping it tight? I think I could be wrong, but I think that this might be my first public stream this year, which is a little wild to think about. Because I have been streaming, I've just mostly been streaming for patrons. I started doing Patreon art streams, just because I love y'all, but the number of people in chat can sometimes get a little bit overwhelming. And so I started doing Patreon streams just like when I needed to get work done. And I didn't want to have to keep an eye on, like a super duper close eye on chat constantly. It's more chill over there, but it's been a while since I streamed for the public and I craved chaos. But yes, so this is what we're working on today. I sketched and inked this print earlier this week, I think. Yeah. Do not be fooled by the fact that it already looks half-colored. I was mostly just trying to get the color palette down. I am going to be, reflatting all of this. Because a lot of this was just like, I have a general idea of what I want the colors to be, but I'm gonna, like, now actually go in and flat it for realsies. But yes, so the theme for next month's Mail Club is, fairy tales. Patrons voted on it, and that was the theme that they chose. And so I did stickers of Vector and Ariana, and so I had a couple different ideas for the print, and so I just made a whole bunch of thumbnails and I threw them at patrons and said, which one do you want? And it ended up being really, really close between this one and a little Thumbelina-esque one for Rory and Marina. And I still really, really, really like the Rory and Marina print, so I'm keeping that in my back pocket. It's a surprise tool that will help us later. But for this month, we are doing Cinderella vibes, because your girl wanted to draw a ballroom dancing scene. Yippee! So that's my excuse. That's what's going on today. How's everybody been? Are we vibing? I feel as though we are vibing. Yeah, I usually ink on stream, but like I started inking this and I got sidetracked doing something else, I forget exactly what. And then I was like, I should stream the coloring because the people will enjoy that. Where's my Womter? Holly's over here fishing for info. Will anyone make a cameo in the background? The background characters are silhouettes, and that's what they will stay as. I don't want to draw background characters. I want the art to be focused on these two. Look at them. Look at them. They are dancing. They're being cutie patoots. Listen, the main reason I wanted to draw this print was drawing, like, big, fluffy ballroom dance gowns, like the freaking is it manhwa or manhwa? I think it's manhwa. It's like, you always see those ballroom dancing scenes, and I'm like, I want to draw that. I don't want to draw it a whole bunch of times, but I'll draw it once. Okay, this tongue color is not great. Let's just... You play with the sliders until it works. Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like we could potentially finish the rendering here today. Because I'm not inking and coloring, I'm just coloring. Which is unusual for me. I usually do inks on stream, but I already finished the inks for this. I feel like I would have been done with this print earlier if I had been able to decide on a print composition on Monday. But I wasn't. And so I had to take an extra day to throw it to patrons, and then I was only able to get inks done. Holly wants Zara to be in this so bad. I know, I'm sorry, Holly. Listen. Zara's a little indisposed right now. He's a little indisposed in the comic right now. You know how it is. Did you have a favorite background character while drawing earlier pages? A lot of times the background characters are like my OCs from other projects, or just characters from other media that I enjoy. But it's been a really long time since I've had to draw background characters. I feel like I was flipping through chapter 10 recently, I forget what I was looking for, but I was looking for something. And it reminded me that I snuck a couple of Bravely Default 2 cameos in there. I'm like, haha, I know them. I know those guys. Because I was drawing that bit when I was really into that game. Trying to get all my flats done. Do. Little bottomed. Did I accidentally? No, we're good. Okay. Yeah, it's been a while since I did a public stream. I will say, the Patreon streams have been very nice, because Lord, it is so much easier to just, like, draw and yap when you're not worrying about the chat going 1 million miles an hour. But sometimes I crave chaos, and I feel like it's been a while since I've just, like, sat with my audience and been like, hey, guess what? Bleh, or whatever the hell happens on these streams. I don't know. It's not like I'm here all the time anyway. Yeah, we're just vibing. Just simply vibing. Would you guys believe me if I said that I already had the next several months of videos planned out? Oh dang! Lysander789, thank you for the gifted memberships! I appreciate it. Thank you. If you just got gifted a membership, make sure to say thank you. That's awesome. Thanks so much. What color did I make your hair tie? What was I saying just now? Oh, yeah. I would absolutely believe that, you silly workaholic. Hey! Hey! Be nice to me. Be nice to me or I'll cry. But yeah, I spent the majority of my 2019 in a fugue depression, which wasn't great if I'm being honest. And a lot of my videos like didn't perform super duper great, and so that was making the fugue depression worse. You know how it is. But I come into the new year and I've finally like have some of my creative energy back, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, I have so many ideas for videos. So we have the video that just went up today, which was the February Mail Club video. Oh my gosh, I haven't even talked about the new Mail Club videos yet. Have you guys been enjoying those? We just had a new one come out today. I forget what I've talked about in Patreon streams versus public streams. But yeah, we've been doing the Mail Club videos, and I'm super excited about the Mail Club videos because it means that I can upload more than once a month. I'm back to my schedule that I had when I first started the channel, which was posting every 2 weeks. And I realized, for the longest time, I was like, man, I used to be able to upload every 2 weeks, and now I can barely upload once a month. What kind of energy did I have? What was my secret? The secret was that my videos from when I first started my channel were like 10 minutes. Were like 10 to 15 minutes. I went back and rewatched a couple of them the other day, because I was thinking about doing a thing that I think I'm gonna end up not doing. But I was like, maybe I could like direct some more attention back to my old videos just to see if that would do anything. The answer is no, I'm not gonna be doing that because, oh my god, I cringed so hard. Watching some of my older videos, I was like, oh, my mic quality was really bad. Maybe we don't need to do that, actually. Okay, and now I can get rid of these 2 layers. So now we have our flats. Okay, and then we can do this, we can do this. I'm messing with my layers, y'all can't see. Okay, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and render these while we're sitting here, which means making all those beautiful, tasty colors go away immediately. Goodbye, tasty colors. Goodbye, tasty colors. But yeah, so I'm very excited to be uploading twice a week now. Or twice a week? Twice a month. I've got my editor friend Lively has been helping me with those videos, so I've been, what I usually do is I make all the art for them and I script the video, I record the audio, and then I send the assets to my editor friend Lively, who does the bass edit for me. And then I come in afterwards and I add the music and I add my sprites and I add the important bits. But they take the bulk of the editing off my plate, which makes it much easier to upload more frequently, which is very nice. Lysander79, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Miss Star is an animator in his late 20s. You're inspired me to take drawing seriously. Would love to see you tackle the blue blur someday. I haven't drawn Sonic as an actual character, but I've drawn... I have actually drawn a Sonic version of my VTuber a long time ago. It was for a video thumbnail for videos that I don't think are archived on this channel. They're either really far back on this channel or they're on my second channel. But I did a playthrough of Sonic Adventure 2, and I drew Star the Hedgehog, or I don't remember what animal I made myself. But yes, also I did do Sonic the Hedgehog themed mail club, but I feel like that's different than, I feel like drawing Rory in a Sonic hoodie is different than just drawing Mr. Sonic T. Hedgehog. You guys thought I'd forgotten the Sonic mail club? I was going in order of relevance, okay? Give me a minute. But yeah, I did a Sonic Adventure 2 stream back in the day, so... And everyone was like, oh my god, Star, why are you drawing yourself as a Sonic character? That's cringe. And I was like, I'm sitting here playing a Sonic video game. Also, you're cringe. And also, it's not bad to be cringe. Be cringe, be free with us. We're having fun. We're just having fun. We're vibing. There's a Star Sonic era. I hesitate to call it an era, because it was really just the one game. I got real into the Chow Garden, though. I fucking love the Chow Garden. I am still waiting on, like, just a full game that is the Chow Garden. Like, that's all it is. Sonic Adventure 2 is Chow Garden with some other fucking game about going fast, I guess, attached to it, but whatever. But yes, that game still holds a very firm place in my heart. See, my thing is, I have a hard time calling myself a Sonic fan because I've only really ever gotten into the one game. I wouldn't say that I'm a Sonic fan in general. I am a Sonic Adventure 2 enjoyer. But if someone says, like, Star hates Sonic, no, it's not true. I just haven't really played a whole lot of the games. I think it's fun, but it's not, like, my favorite thing in the whole entire universe, you know? Like, I was never as obsessed with Sonic as I was with some other franchises that I was really into. You know? You know what I mean? There. Like Hamtaro. I have been considering a Hamtaro mail club just as an excuse to draw the characters as hamsters, because oh my god. If you guys have not gone back into the archives, I had a phase that lasted about 2 years where I drew nothing but Hamtaro-style hamsters. And it wasn't because I was, like, super duper big into Hamtaro. I was, but that wasn't the main reason. The main reason I drew nothing but Hamtaro-style hamsters for 2 years was because I accidentally drew sexually provocative images in my 5th grade class, and I got in trouble with the teacher, and she said I wasn't allowed to draw anymore. But then I discovered that hamsters were a viable loophole because hamsters cannot be sexy. Don't tell the furries I said that. I don't want them to contradict me. Everyone in the chat going, question mark? Clearly is not a real fan. You haven't gone back and watched my banned from drawing video. It explains it. They were not sexually provocative at all. They were fully clothed. They had huge tatas and they were wearing swimsuits. So actually, I would argue against my own defense there. It's like, looking back on it now, I kind of get it. I do kind of get it. But also, like, it wasn't intentional. I was a baby who didn't know how to draw boobs, and I was just like, you know, my characters have legs, so I'm gonna draw legs. It's like, humans have legs, I will draw legs. Humans have hands, I'm gonna avoid drawing hands by putting them behind the characters' backs. Characters, sometimes characters have boobs. I mostly drew girls when I was that age, and I was like, I wanna draw girls, girls have boob. I draw boob, and I did it by drawing just big. I want you to imagine a person from full, like, frontal, like, straight on view, and I want you to, in your mind's eye, draw a large C shape on either side of their torso, and that's how I drew these characters. So, yeah, I basically I didn't know how to draw boobs from a front angle, and I only ever drew characters from a front view, so I just drew all my characters with massive titties. Can you draw a mock-up, please? I guess. I'm making a new canvas, though, so I don't taint. So we had, like, the characters, they were, like, head. So first things first is I would draw a character's hair first, and then I would draw their face underneath it, and then I would draw their face, like, really, really small on the tomato shape that I had drawn. And I gave them pigtails a lot, and so they would usually look like this. And then I would draw, like, their slender sloping necks and their muscles. And so I would draw, like, a torso. But I didn't know how to draw boobs, so I just drew, like, woo! Woo! Just C-shape on the side of the chest, and they were like, yippee! And, like, you know, usually the hands were behind the back. Because, yeah, but also sometimes they were in a peace sign. And I drew, like, very detailed shorts sometimes. And I would draw, like, the cuff on the shorts. And then I would draw, like, the knees and the leggies. And then I would give them shoes. Something like that. So that's about how I drew in 5th grade. So, you know, maybe my teacher had a point. This is how I drew in 5th grade, and I want everyone to bask in this, and then I want you to go watch my banned from drawing video, because I go into more detail on what the fuck was going on there. But basically, I got in trouble with the teacher because I was drawing sexually provocative anime girls, even though I didn't even know what that meant. And so then I still really wanted to draw, and I discovered that hamsters were fine to draw. So I drew nothing but Hamtaro hamsters for like 2 years. Womp womp. I could still probably whip out a Hamtaro. Give me a sec, because they like, okay, so they've got like the big, perfectly round eyes, the big eye shines. The big eye shines. And then they have like the top of their heads, and they have like the little hairs, and they have the very round ears and a little nose and a hamster. And then they have kind of like bean-shaped faces, and they've got kind of like bean-shaped bodies. And then they have a little and then they have a little and then they have little sunflower seed-shaped feet. And then I believe Hamtaro has like, this is a little asymmetrical, like that. And then the ears are like the little crescent shapes, and they've got 2 little blips. They got 2 little blips. And then that's a Hamtaro. That's a Hamtaro right there. Oh god, you're missing an eye shine. I'm so sorry. But they always had like the little crescent moons in their eyes. I need to check this for accuracy. Let me look up a picture of Hamtaro for a moment. We're gonna compare my Hamtaro for accuracy here. I need to find an image of Hamtaro, full body, not making like a weird face. Okay, so I didn't do the eyes quite right. The eyes are like symmetrical-ish. I'm just gonna grab this one. This is fine. We have a Hamtaro, and we have my Hamtaro. Okay, so he's asymmetrical, and the eye shine should be like both in the center, but that's pretty close! That's pretty close! This is Hamtaro! I love Hamtaro. This is my boy right here. I fucking love Hamtaro. Ham Heartbreak for the Nintendo Game Boy Advance was my fucking jam. Anyway, back to our lesbians. But yeah, I don't know. I think a Hamtaro Mail Club would be fun. If not a Hamtaro Mail Club, I haven't told the general populace what my March video is going to be. Chat, they don't know. Patrons, they don't know what my March video is going to be. So first of all, the February video, I have already done all the art for, and I've already recorded. I just have to edit it. That's gonna happen next week. And then that video will go up at the end of this month. That's gonna be Randomized Characters Challenge numero 3. And I'm very excited because I think of all of the randomized character challenges I've done, this new trio is probably my favorite. I love them. I love them so much. They are silly, they are fun, and I like them. And I hope that you guys will all enjoy them too. But after that video, after my February video. First of all, we're gonna get the March Mail Club video. That's gonna happen around the beginning of the month. I think that ideally that should drop on the same day. Oh, that's gonna be a busy day in Star World. Because not only will I be at Emerald, I'm gonna be at Emerald City Comic Con that day. It's going up the same day that the Frankie Makeship campaign launches, which by the way, if you haven't seen that already, Frankie plushie is coming beginning of next month. So write that on your calendar. And then it's also the day that chapter 13 ends on the website. It's a big day in Cast-Off Land. But yeah, and then my March video is what if Star just got like really self-indulgent with a video? And guys, I'm making a video about the horse video game. I'm making a video about Uma Musume because I'm doing a drawing the cast-off characters as though they were Uma Musume characters video because I feel like it. Hans! Now it's time for Hans! Indeed, it's Hans' video. That's gonna be my video for March. I've already started designing. It's already begun. Oh my god. So March is going to be a very eventful month, which is kind of ironic considering that the comic will be on hiatus for most of it, and that y'all will be so angry with me. Y'all are gonna be really angry with me in March while the comic is on hiatus. I'm sorry. Ow. Tiki, you really like the horse game. See, that's the thing, is I feel like I like the horse game a normal amount. It's like, I'm not like obsessed with it. I wouldn't say that I play it more than any other game. I just think that the horse game is uniquely interesting to talk about because it's so fucking weird, right? But also I just really like my Blorbos and I like imagining them in different universes. Hee hee hee. They are silly and they are fun. And the horse game is very fun to talk about. Also, it's Year of the Horse, so it felt fitting. I considered, like, pushing the randomized character video back and doing horse video at the end of this month because it's closer to Lunar New Year. But I decided against it because I didn't want to cram production when I was already getting close to done with production on the randomized characters video. I was like, let's not kill myself, please. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe we don't do that, actually. Wow. I am just a little guy who occasionally has a little bit of help from a friend, but for the most part is too much of a control freak to delegate too much of her tasks to other people. Did she seriously just say we would be mad at her at March and then move on? Yes. What? Like what? You want me to elaborate? Read my webcomic, castoff.comic.com. And just wait. You'll find out. Patrons know. Patrons know. Because patrons have already finished chapter 13. They know. Patrons are already in the middle of that hiatus. They know. Tell them, patrons. Don't tell them spoilers, but just tell them how mad at me you are. Patrons in the chat sound off. Listen, I am doing my very, very best to make the hiatus nice and short so that you guys won't be waiting very long. My goal is to have it, I've done this in the past, but my goal is to have it so that patrons will end the hiatus on the same day that the hiatus starts for people reading on the website. So for people who are not patrons, you'll be able to just completely skip the hiatus. A scale of 1 to 10 of how bad is it? It's pretty bad. When will patrons get our hiatus bonus content? Probably next week. I didn't have time to write this week, but I'm gonna try and tackle that a little bit over the weekend. I'm doing another character Q&A for patrons. And I realized, oh, I should have done that. But I realized it too late for me to actually write anything last night. And I was just like, I'll post it on Monday. I'll post it on Monday. So patrons will get their bonus content. I promise it's coming. Heart eyes, smiles, does my little heart hands at y'all. Thank you for not leaving during the hiatus. I do just want to be very clear. Sometimes people do leave when the comic is on, leave the Patreon when the comic is on hiatus, and that is totally fine. I understand why. I'm not begrudging you. I am teasing. I'm teasing. But to those who do stay on during the hiatus, I appreciate you very much. Thank you for helping me pay my bills. I'm scared Castoff is gonna enter the darkest hour. It will be the darkest hour so far! I'll tell you that much. It's like, what is that from? The Simpsons? This is the worst day of my life. Worst day of your life so far! So far, yeah! You know, things could always get worse. I'm so excited about chapter 14, though. I'm so excited about chapter 14. Chapter 14. Chapter 14. Hee hee hee. There's a lot of fun stuff in chapter 14. And actually, fun fact is that I've been working on pages for chapter 14 already. I have the first 4 pages of chapter 14. They're done already. They are done. They are finished. I forgot where I was gonna go with this. Oh yeah, there's a lot of like scenes in chapter 14 that I'm very much looking forward to, where I'm like, I reread the script and I get giddy and I kick my little feet. That's what chapter 14 makes me do. Despite the general tone of the chapter, there is a lot of hashtag good shit in there, in my opinion, and I am very excited for you guys to see it and react to it and drop your little theories in the comments section, because I don't reply to them very often, but I do go through and read them, and if I have any particular favorites, I save them to my little Trello board where I keep all the happy comments. Good as in lore. I will not be elaborating, but ee-hee-hee-hee-hee. Ee-hee-hee-hee-hee. I'm having fun. I'm having fun with my webbed comic that I make. Crazy concept, right? Imagine having fun with the passion project. Crazy, right? Got a nose itch. It's like I'm gonna sneeze. But my body's like, no, we can't sneeze. And I'm like, ugh. But I feel like I need to sneeze. I feel like I need to sneeze. It's not happening. It's not happening, chat. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. What if someone made a reaction video to reading your webcomic? Okay, I'm gonna be super duper honest. Y'all can do whatever you want forever. Like, I've had people ask if they can make fan art. Had people like ask if they can make videos on the comic. You can do whatever the hell you want forever. I will not stop you, and you do not require my permission to do so. What I will say, reactions, like live reactions specifically, I'm okay with people doing, but I probably won't watch it just because I get a little embarrassed. I get a little embarrassed. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's a little bit too perceived for me. Like, I've seen videos where people talk about the comic and they're like, yeah, I've read this comic and it's cool and it does this and this. And I'm like, oh, yay. But I've seen streams of people like live reacting to reading the comic and I'm just like, oh God, this is too much perception. And I can't watch it. I just get skittish. I get skittish and scared of live reactions. I'm just like, But yeah, you guys can do what you want forever. That's also my other thing is like, I know that fan fictions exist. I choose not to read them very specifically for like the same reasons why like movie studios say we will not read any potential scripts you send us. I'm trying to avoid like potentially people suing me for using their ideas. Even though I don't think I am a big enough fish to get like bothered with that kind of thing. I'm having precaution. It's a cautionary thing more than anything. Listen, once the comic ends, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna read all that fan fiction. Now, what I have done in the past that apparently is worse than me reading fan fiction is I will go on AO3 and I will look up cast-off fan fictions, and I won't read the fan fictions themselves. I will scroll to the bottom and I'll look at the comments section and I'll read all the comments on the cast-off fan fictions just to kind of like get an idea of how the people are reacting to certain things, and I'm just like, Miranda Cosgrove, iCarly gif, interesting. I would honestly be so flattered if you used an idea, but I will be so embarrassed. See, here's my thing. It's like, I would not read fan fiction to get ideas. And it's like, this is not me saying I'm not gonna use y'all's ideas because they're bad. It's like, I know what I wanna do with the comic at this point. And so I'm not gonna, like, take advice or, like, ideas from my audience. I already know what I wanna do with the story. And it's like, you know, sometimes I see theories that I think is like, oh, that would be really cool, but it's not what I wanna do with the story, so I'm not gonna do it. It's like, I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do with things moving forward. I had a contrary point that I was gonna make, and I forgot what it was. Shit. I ADHD'd all over things. Shit. I forgot what I was gonna say! Damn it! Well, it'll come back to me later. I'm just trying to think of what I was gonna go into, and now I can't think of it. That idea is gone. But yeah, I mean, I guess the point is, like, you know, I wouldn't take ideas from my... That's what I was gonna say! People have asked me in the past... I was actually just thinking about this today. People have asked me in the past, have I ever changed anything or put something into the comic specifically because of your audience? And the answer is no, but there is an asterisk. I have changed the location of certain reveals because people in the comment section kind of caught on to my shit much faster than I thought they were going to. And I was like, I'm gonna be able to keep this secret until the end of the comic, and it'll be a big dramatic reveal right at the end. And then people figured it out in the second chapter, and I was like, well, fuck. maybe that will not be a secret that lasts until the end of the story if people have already caught on to my shit. The one specific, like, change that I have made to the story actually happened in chapter 13. There was one particular scene in chapter 13 that I changed specifically because of how I foresaw the audience reacting to it. And it might not be the scene that you think it is. So, hang on. Let me pull up the pages. Let me pull up the pages because I have them available and I can just grab them. Where is it? It's one of these green bastards. This page. So it's this page when Ariana is taking her little angry girl walk through the woods, and she picks up this rock and she throws it in the water and she gets splashed. This scene was different originally. There was a different thing that happened in this scene originally. Originally, in the first draft of this scene, Ariana throwing this rock in the water did not splash water onto her. Instead, what happens is she throws the rock in the water and then it knocks like a little fish out of the water, and then the fish is like flopping around on the shore, and the whole thing was it was supposed to be, this whole page is like very, you know, metaphorical or whatever. It's supposed to be like, yes, Ariana keeps lashing out in anger and all it's doing is hurting her and the people around her. Yeah, hashtag justice for fishy. Dawn knows what I'm talking about because I've told mods about this. But basically, originally what happened is the fish would have, like, flopped out of the water, and Ariana would have been, like, done, like, a dramatic side. As she was reaching down to scoop the fish back into the water, that's when Zara, like, grabbed her. And the scene would continue before she had a chance to put the fish back in the water. And I knew that if I did not get that fish back in the water, every single goddamn comment would have been about the fish! Every single comment would have been about the fish! And I'm like, hi, yes, listen, it's like, look at this very dramatic scene, these two characters that have a highly anticipated reunion between these two characters is getting overshadowed by fish drama. So I changed it, and now there's no fish. Now the fish just got crushed by the rock and he's dead. Anyway, back to my... Hi, Hantaro! Hi! R.I.P. Fishy, hashtag justice for Fishy. But yeah, like, I told Spoiler Squad about that, and, like, even Dawn was like, yeah, I 100% would have left, like, hashtag justice for Fishy comments. And I'm like, I don't want all the comments on this very pivotal scene to be about the fucking fish, so I changed it. There's two things not allowed in Cast Off. No guns, no fish. No fish allowed. Because all the comments will be about the fish. It's like everyone in that moment would just like forget. It's like, fuck Zara and Ariana meeting up. Put the fish back in the water. Hashtag justice for Fishy. What has been revealed so far in the comic that people have already figured out? It hasn't been revealed, like, it hasn't been brutally, like, said in the comic. That's not gonna be for a couple chapters, but it is a very popular theory that a lot of people are on. Ciao. I was quite honestly surprised that people caught on to the Luca thing as early as they did. Because it was like, yes, I will have this character name dropped exactly once in the comic, and I will bait and switch people into thinking that Zara is Ariana's brother when actually it's Luca. Ahaha, that's my sneaky, sneaky secret. And that was such a popular fan theory, and I was like, how the fuck? How the fuck? I said his name in the comic exactly one time. How the fuck did they figure it out? Y'all are too smart sometimes. It's a little like, huh. We figured out who Luca was a while ago. Yeah, I think that largely a lot of the Luca fan theories came out of the fact that there was art of him on like my Tumblr and stuff, and like my old DeviantArt. If that didn't exist, I feel like fewer people would have figured it out, but y'all are going into the forbidden trenches and looking at my old ass art, making me very grateful that I never posted the comic that basically spoiled their entire, like, dynamic that I drew and then never finished, so I never posted it, but I drew it in, like, 2011 or some shit. It might still be on my computer. I think I went back and looked at it recently. Hold on. Hold on. Give me a moment. It would be in, like, really old... I have an old folder in here, right? I have so many. Fifth anniversary, 7th anthology pieces. Playlist covers. Okay, it might just be in my old art general folder. There's all the dick butt edits. There's the Ariana no fun edit. I have a lot of memes in here. Thumbnail horse. I can't. What is this file just named Yeet? Oh, it's that page. Okay. Okay. It might not be in my cast off folder. It might be in just my general old art folder. Okay. You know what? This doesn't go back far enough, so it probably isn't in here. Yeah, it's probably not in here. I will do just like a little silly. No, there is that one, but that's not the one I'm talking about. People have found that one. That one's on Tumblr. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I went on a hunt and it was not there. We're going back about our business. Okay, is this all that? No. Spot up here still needs to be shaded. But yeah, basically when I was in like 2011, when I was very deep in like, oh my god, I just came up with this cool new idea. I'm gonna draw a whole bunch of things while I brainstorm ideas for it. I drew a little comic that was essentially just like kind of a children's storybook version of what the dynamic is and what the backstory was between those three characters. And I fully intended on posting it on DeviantArt as soon as I was done with it. And then I just never finished it. And thank God I didn't, because it would have fucking spoiled the entire thing. All of it. Like, even some stuff that has not been revealed in the comic yet, it would have spoiled. And I'm like, dear Star, thank you for having ADHD and not finishing that comic, because what the fuck? What's the ship name for Luca and Zara? I don't have one, but people on the Discord, I think, have started calling it Dead Sleep, which I think is very cute. But I want to know, then just keep reading the comic. You'll learn. Sooner than you think you might learn this. Dun dun dun. Some people, spoiler squad, knows when we're going to find out about all of that. And I'm very excited for it. Hee. Okay. Ariana and her big ass forehead. Okay, and now we take the shading from looking like blah. And now we have to take the shading and we have to make it look like wow. So to do that, what we are going to do, we are going to one by one change the color of the shading. But yeah, the actual rendering is going to be difficult, but I am excited for how this is coming out already. I think it looks neat. I think that the colors on this already look neat. I kind of had like a vision of what I wanted the colors to be, but I'm not great at planning colors in my head. And so I really needed to like actually get it down on the page to make it look the way I wanted. I get real caught up in the weeds when I'm planning colors. Honestly, I think that the little shoulder things are blending in with her hair too much, so I might make them a little bit darker. Change the color. That's better. Yeah. There we go. Ah. I just realized that I went off on that whole jokey tangent about no fish allowed in cast-off, and yet I'm hosting a contest literally right now where y'all can design the characters as mermaids. That counts as fish, Star! You stupid? See, here's the thing, is that I wanted Marina's dress to be more blue, but I worry that it contrasts with the rest of the color scheme too much. So I'm not sure what I want to do necessarily. We could make it a little bit more lilac, kind of like that. Because then it kind of connects with the sky through the windows a little bit. There's the original, and then... I do like that, I think. It kind of makes it pop a little bit more. We'll play with that, and I might change it later. Yeah, y'all know me, I'm a big fan of my monochromatic color schemes, but sometimes it's good to add some other colors in there. Maybe we can make the shading more bluish. This little gem on the front of her dress is making me think of all the freaking, like, pearls and bubbles I did for the one character for my video later this month. I half expected Ariana to have little beast ears. Well, it's not Beauty and the Beast. It's more Cinderella vibes is what we're going for. Ugh. Ariana is the world's most aggro Prince Charming. But that's fine. We love her for it. We love girlies who are mean. I support women's wrongs. How'd you pick out the outfits? I just picked them out of my brain. I was going for kind of like Cinderella, but different. And so I just kind of drew Cinderella's dress from memory and went like, yep, that's what it looks like. Will you ever make an animation for Cast Off? If $1 million suddenly flops into my hands, then maybe. Like, as much as I would love to do some animation, I don't have time for that. I barely have time to draw the comic. And that's like drawing 6 drawings per page. Animation, you have to do so many more drawings. It's crazy. Like, I went to school for animation and then figured out that I like doing comics better because you have to draw fewer things. And other reasons. But that is certainly one of the reasons. You don't have to draw quite as many things. I mostly like animation because, or I mostly like comics because it's a visual storytelling medium that you can largely do by yourself. You don't have to have like a whole studio. And I'm a very independent person, so that worked out for me. I just wanted to be able to tell a story about my little Blorbos. And like, I would have still done that anyway. Like, I'm still working on Azure Mirage too, and that's just a different medium that I'm having fun playing with. I am struggling. I am struggling significantly because I'm new at prose and it's fighting me, but I'm having fun. I just sent the good enough-ish version of Chapter 3 to my beta readers for them to take a pick at. And Chapter 3 still needs a lot of work, but it's getting there. I did start rewriting Chapter 4 today, because I wrote a version of Chapter 4 during NaNoWriMo, and then I went back and looked at it after NaNoWriMo was over, and I'm like, this is bad, I'm gonna rewrite it. But then, as I was rewriting it, I was like, well, some of the stuff in there I still liked, and I feel like I'm just trying to imitate it. So I'm gonna get a handwritten version of Chapter 4 done, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna just, like, dovetail them together. I really like the snippets you posted on Patreon a while back ago, so I think you're definitely on something. Oh, thank you! If people do want to read Azure Mirage, the first 2 chapters for each character are up on Patreon. I'm mostly focusing on Lapis's story for right now, because I feel like I need to just focus on one or the other for a while. But having fun. I have ideas from a Blorbees. A good Blorbees. The Blormbitos, as it were. What's a fucking light source? I don't know what a light source is. Stop asking me all these questions. How about if you were to work with an indie animation studio like Glitch? I mean, if they want to get in my inbox, I will hear them out. But I personally, like, I want to finish the comic. It's like, I want it to be a comic before it is anything else. I love it being a comic. I want it to continue being a comic. I would fucking love an animated adaptation at some point. That would be cool. That would be cool as fuck, don't get me wrong. But I'm not gonna drop the comic in favor of turning it into an animated version. Because making animated versions is hard. It takes a lot of time. It requires a lot of skills that I don't have. Like making music. And voice acting. And all this other stuff. And it's complicated and scary and expansive. But if we ever get to a bajillion Cast-Off fans, and then we want to talk about an animated version, then maybe. But it's not something that I am focused on right now. I like it as a comic, and it will continue to exist as a comic. My goal is just for people to like it as a comic because that is what it was always intended to be. That said, someone in my Q&A video question form did ask if Cast-Off was to have an animated adaptation, who would you want to compose the music? And Lord knows I already have an answer for that one. I want to get the composer who did all the music for Bravely Default. Revo? Oh my god. Oh my god, I would die. I would pass the fuck away and go to heaven immediately. I love their music so much. Seeing my babies get in big fights to Bravely Default-esque music. Ah! My heart. If you haven't listened to the Bravely Default soundtrack, go do that. It's real fucking good. Got some good fucking jams. I like it. One of these days I will play the Bravely Default remake, but I don't have a Switch 2 yet. I want to play it on stream since I played Bravely Default 2 on stream. And Bravely Default 2 is like, what if Bravely Default 1 was just like a little bit worse? I don't like it as much as the first, but Bravely Default 1 is a hard act to follow. It is not a perfect game, by any means. I would say that I really enjoy the characters of Bravely Default 2, like, a lot. Like, I love those stupid punks so much. They're so stupid and weird little guys, and I like them. But the same can also be said of the original quartet. And the original 4 are also just a bunch of silly little guys who I love dearly. But I just fucking love Elvis so much. Elvis is just like, what if this guy was a fucking himbo? What if this guy who looks like he hangs out in GameStop and mansplaining JRPGs to women was actually the most adorable himbo ever who just sometimes sets himself on fire? That's pretty fun. I love that. I love that shit. Give me like 11 more of these little bitches. I'll take it. I will absolutely take that. And eventually, when I get my hands on a Switch 2, or maybe it comes out for like Steam or something, I don't know. Then I will play it on stream for you guys. Don't look at the pile of games that I have started for streams and haven't finished yet. Don't worry about it. I want her. It's coming along. It's coming along. What? My school is doing a book-themed band concert, so me and my 2 friends are gonna go as the OG trio of Cast-Off. Ariana's gonna play clarinet, Vector saxophone, and Frankie percussion. What? That's so cute! Oh my god! That's adorable. What the heck? Oh my god. I screwed up the shading here. I need to fix it. That's adorable, though. Oh my goodness. I would love to see pictures, but I understand not wanting to post pictures of yourself on the internet. I understand. Frankly, if you are under 18, you should not post pictures of yourself on the internet. Is dangerous. But yeah, I've been thinking about making just like some real short little cast-off animatics. Cause I still, one of these days, I'm gonna do the Just a Man animatic with Sage. One of these days I will do that. And I could honestly do a decent job just with panels from the comic. But if I'm gonna do it, then I feel like I need to go all the way and like make new art for it. I don't have time. I don't have time to do that. Even though I really want to. It would make people go feral. I mentioned Epic once in one video, and so many people in the comments lost their fucking minds. And I'm like, if I Guys, like, well, now I feel like I kind of need to, because Lord knows that would be great marketing, apparently. And other side, Holly coming in with the wanting the Zara animatic. I can't do other side until after several chapters from now. Open arms for the same reason. But yeah, do I want to just like attract every Epic fan to my webcomic and just be like, pss, 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 pss. And just like make that Sage animatic and just go pss, 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 pss. Like you're summoning a cat? Do I want to summon the Epic fans? I feel like it's a little scary. I feel like it's a little bit scary. Making these pupils line up with each other is going to be a bit of a task. Is it a good idea to have your characters in little animatics or short animations before putting them into webcomics or an animation series? You can do whatever the fuck you want forever, and you should. If you want to do that first, then do it. If you don't want to do it first, then don't. It's like, there's no should or could, whatever. Like, you can just do whatever you want. Honestly, that, like, it really depends on what you have the most interest in and, like, where your audience is. But, like, honestly, just do what you are excited about in the moment. And I feel like that is the best way to go about things. I need to check out Epic the Musical. I've heard a lot of people talk about. I like the music. I think that the lyrics are a little awkward in some points, but I think for like a fully sung through musical, I think it's pretty fun. And I like to listen a lot to a lot of the songs when I'm like storming character ideas and such. And my thing is that I haven't watched any of the animatics actually. Like a friend gave me their whole like curated list of Epic animatics, and I haven't sat down and watched it because I've been busy. I've been busy. Ariana, I'm giving you the sparkliest eyes ever, and you're gonna just deal with it. I would watch Cast Off animatics regardless of the music. Hell yeah. I have a couple of like other ideas for stuff I want to do, but a lot of it is a little too spoilers. And I'm just like, I feel like the Epic one would be fun. I feel like it would be fun. Do I have time? So little. I have so little time in my life. But at the same time, I could probably trick myself into doing it if I was just like, hey, self, that would be great fucking marketing for the comic. Get all the Epic fans to read your webcomic right before a really big, like an annoying hiatus after leaving things off in a fucked up place. I have to be vague because y'all haven't finished the chapter yet unless you're on Patreon, but again, things are gonna go some places and I just need y'all to trust me. I'm actually gonna make her eyes a little bit more on the purple side so that it does not clash so that it goes with the color scheme a little bit more. There. Epic fans can't be scarier than the Haunts fans. I don't feel like Uma Musume has a particularly scary fandom. I feel like what's scary about the Epic fandom is that it's mostly like it swings a lot younger. And younger fan bases tend to be the scary ones. I would know, I have one. I have a younger fan base. And I love y'all, but y'all scare me a little bit sometimes. We're all just babies to you. Yes. Confirmed. True fact. This is true. That's what happens when your age starts with a 3. Look at all these little babies on the internet. Wee little babies. That is making me think, though, about what I want to do for the April Mail Club. Because April is the comics anniversary, so I kind of want to do something just like kind of silly and fun. But I want to include the whole cast, but I'm not quite sure what I want to do. I had a couple of thoughts. First thought was maybe big group picnic for funsies. Another potential idea is, what if draw all the characters in baby form? What if we just pretend like all the characters were born at the same time and we just make them all little kids and we just draw them on a playground together to balance out the horrors of the current comic pages? What if we made the cast just a bunch of cute little babies? Vector wholesome birthday party. Oh, but that's also cute. That's also cute. Because Vector and Frankie do have the same birthday, and it is the comics anniversary. So that would be cute. Did you expect Cast Off to attract such a young audience, or did you not think about it much? I kind of expected slightly older, but I was thinking Cast Off would be for like 15, like high school and older, basically. Like high school through your late 20s, basically, was kind of my target demographic. And I would say that I have achieved that. But I think when I started the comic, I was a lot closer to 15 than I am now. I started the comic in my early 20s. And so I was like, I was 15 just like a couple years ago. And now I have an age that starts with a 3. And I'm like, oh, 15. So babies, little babies, itty bitty tiny little babies. All up in here. And y'all are like a little bit scary sometimes. I do appreciate the passion, though. It's good for marketing. It's good for marketing, twirls my CEO mustache. You got the children to enjoy things, and they'll recommend it to all their little children friends, and then we make the big money. That is so cynical. I promise that wasn't the reason. I just like stories for that age demographic, and I feel like anything targeted for like folks closer to my age is just a little, like, it goes a little too dark, and I'm just like, I feel like the stories that excited me most were the ones that I was listening to when I was around the target demographic of Cast Off, like the late teens, early 20s. Those were always the stories that excited me the most, and so I was like, I'll get into this. See, the scary thing, I mean scary is like a positivity thing. Where it's just like, it's a little alarming, but it's like, I don't mean it in a way, I mean it in a whoa kind of way, like seeing a monster truck. Like seeing a monster truck crush another car, and not like a Tyrannosaurus about to eat you. It's two different types of fear. But see, I look at my audience, and when I first started Cast Off, one of my goals was, I was really into the Adventure Zone around the time that I started the comic. I didn't get into it until about a year after, but I just remember I was listening to Taz Balance for the first time and thinking to myself, I want to make a story that makes other people feel the way I do about Taz Balance, which was feral and insane. I was so into that show. I caught up with Taz Balance during the Suffering Game arc. Holy shit. That was a goddamn adventure and a half. An emotional journey, one might say. but I was just like, this show inspires like so many feelings in me, like so many big emotions. I would love it if people reading my comic eventually like felt this way. And now I look on my Discord and I see people being like extremely passionate about this comic, and I'm like to a point that I'd never anticipated, and I was like, oh damn. A little scary sometimes, but very cool. I would definitely say I'm successful at it, yeah. Here, I'm gonna take a real quick, close the blinds break, because it got dark. Hi, Molly. Hi, kitty cat. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, that's a warm kitty. She's sleeping on her little warm bed. The warm little kitty cat. It's a warm little kitty cat sleeping on her little warm bed. It's a Molly cat. She's sleeping on her little cat bed behind me. It's very cute. One time while I was tabling in an artist alley, a young teen asked me excitedly if I'd read Cast Off, and it was so cute. You can't say that and then not tell me the original context of the conversation. What were you talking about that made them say that? I need to know. I'm so nosy. I'm so nosy. I'm nosy. I want to know what people are saying about me. I'm ego searching, but it's a stream and it's different. Just like peek. But yes, I am very excited, just speaking of conventions, because I've got Emerald City Comic Con in a couple weeks, and I'm excited. I'm very excited. It's been a while since my last big con. I think the last big convention I did was MomoCon, and that was almost a year ago. Yeah, that was a while ago. I was about to say, surely I've done other cons, but no, I don't think I did, because I didn't get into Anime Frontier or Ikicon or like any of those shows. Will you be at C2E2? Nope, for two reasons. One, I got into Emerald City first, and they're too close to each other, and if I tried to do both, I would die, and then I did end up getting rejected from C2E2 anyway. So... sorry, Chicago. C2E2 said no. Gonna be in Seattle? Yes! I will be at Emerald City Comic Con, first weekend of March. It's my first time! First time at that con. I'm very excited. It's one of my bucket list conventions. I wanted to go for years. Wee-hee. I've already had several people in my comments tell me that that they're excited to come say hi, and I'm like, yes, come say hi to me, I will scream. I think I was mentioning looking for more series to draw fan art for, and they were like, oh my god, you should do cast-off stuff. It's like, I don't know if you can sell that, babes, but I love the energy. I also love the energy. That's adorable. Okay, so here's my thing with cast-off fan merch. Don't take anything I say as an official, like, my official stance on fan art. This is just kind of me musing out loud. I feel like... this is just kind of my personal opinion. I don't feel like cast-off is big enough for people to sell fan art of. 'Cause I'm like... like, I bring cast-off stuff to cons, and people buy it from me because it's me, right? But I'm not sure if people would be able to sell cast-off fan art just on the nature of, like, it's not that popular, you know? It's not like your big animes or whatever. It's like, I don't know if it would be popular if other people made and sold fan art. I don't know if it would be... That would be just like a very niche fandom offering. That's not something you'd get like 100 things printed of and expect them all to sell. How would you feel about someone selling cast-off fan art if they did? So my stance on it, and again, do not take this as an official endorsement, is I don't want to give a blanket no, because that feels very hypocritical, right? I started my business selling fan art of things like Critical Role and like these other shows. So I felt like if I said, no, you're not allowed to make fan art of, and you're not allowed to sell fan art of my thing, it feels kind of hypocritical, you know? That feels bad. That doesn't feel good. At the same time, though, these other like franchises are significantly bigger than me, a little guy on the internet. And it's like, I know that Cast-Off by itself is pretty popular, but it's not popular enough to a scale where I think people are gonna buy fan merch of it if I'm not the one selling it. You know? The other thing is that, you know, selling merch of Cast-Off is how I pay my rent. And so if other people are suddenly competing with that on a large scale, it makes it harder to pay my rent, especially in this economy, you know? It's like if Bob Joe only has $20 and he could spend it on like my merch, or he could spend it on fan merch and he buys the fan merch, well then that just cost me $20 that I could use to buy food for my cats, you know? And so like that doesn't feel great. But at the same time, I also feel like a blanket, no, you cannot make and sell fan art of this, again, feels hypocritical, you know? I'm pretty sure people buying fan merch will also have gotten the official merch first. Yeah, like, that's my other thing, too, is, like, I don't think that scenario would necessarily happen too much. But it's just something I have to be mindful of as the owner of the IP, you know? So, if... hypothetically, again, do not take this as gospel, do not take this as my official stance on this. This is not official stance. I am waving my arms emphatically. Not official. This is just me kind of musing out loud. If you make Cast-Off fan art and make it to sell, I would say the rules are 10 or fewer. Like, you can make and sell 10 or fewer. I would say in-person events only. Don't sell them online, because if you sell them online, it's very much competing with me. If you're gonna just like make a couple of stickers and sell them in person, and at a convention that I'm not at, then that's like, okay, whatever. But selling them online feels very much like coming into my territory and kind of stealing my audience a little bit. So I would say, like, you know, maybe in-person events only. And also, I want one. If you make thingies, I want one. You're not allowed to sell without sending me one. That's the rule. A big corporate creation is a very different situation of a team of one, exactly. It's like, this is my baby, and I have to be protective of my baby. But I feel like someone selling just like a couple of stickers at a small con in like Alabama or something isn't gonna compete with me very much. But someone going online and selling mass-produced t-shirts probably will. So that's not my official stance. That's kind of like my soft opinions on like what that would be, like what the nature of that would be. So don't take that as like official anything, but that's just kind of what my thoughts are. Of like, in person only, don't make too many, and send me one. I mean, you're not going to come to Alabama? I don't know if there's any good cons in Alabama. I don't know. I was expecting a blanket. No, there's a lot of business to worry about, but if you're at a con, probably don't bring fan art of you. 10 or fewer and no online makes a lot of sense. I mean, like I said, I feel like a blanket no statement would be extremely hypocritical of me. Because, I mean, like I said at the front, I started my business and continue to benefit from selling fan art of established series. Like, I still sell a lot of Critical Role stuff. I still sell, like, Rune Factory stuff. I still have a lot of just fan art at my booth. And if I were to say, absolutely no, you cannot sell merchandise of this thing that I made, that feels very bad. That feels very hypocritical to me. And so I'm not going to make a blanket no, but I'm going to say, please just be reasonable. You know, like maybe if I'm going to be at a con, don't sell it. Only sell it at in-person events. Don't sell it online. And 10 or fewer. We'll say 10 or fewer per event. And also you have to give me one. You have to send me one. I want one. I would absolutely be judging you for a blanket no. Exactly, I would judge me too. Here, I'm gonna take a real quick bathroom break, and I will be right back. Don't go. Okay, I'm back. Have a sip of my water. Ha! But yeah, I guess just continuing the conversation. I have actually had people bring me like little cast-off fan merch at cons before. Just like little things, like little stickers. Little stickers. Oh, one of my favorites. Was this? I think this was at C2. Yes, this was at C2E2. Someone made little wooden versions of Ariana's gem necklace. And they're like made of like, I forget the exact type of wood, but it's like wood they use to make violins, and it's like polished and they're red and very shiny. I have them hanging in my office. They're very pretty. I've gotten stickers before. I've gotten just like little trinkets and things, and I fucking love that. Would fan art be more acceptable in countries where it's harder to access your merch, or would it be the opposite, e.g. countries in Oceania? If I am not gonna be at the con, then I think it's more acceptable. Like, I can't foresee myself going to a con outside of the States unless I am specifically invited. So I think that's fine. I think, like, again, I might change this later, but my thoughts on it now, here, let me... Hi, Hamtaro! Okay, so here, we'll make this and then y'all can screenshot it and share it around, I guess, until changes. Here. Cast off fan art rules. No mass production. Oh, let me... And we'll space this out a little bit so it's easier to read. Oop. Cast off fan art selling rules. Number 1, no mass production. Don't put that shit on Redbubble. Don't do any of that shit. Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, so like no mass production. Just, I want small, humble, indie productions. Make sure you include no AI in that rule in there too. Yes, you're right. You're so right. But yeah, 2, don't sell it online, in person only. Because, you know, online is where I live. And so I feel like if you sell it online, that is very much coming from my brand, as it were. Don't sell, if you have fan merch, don't sell it at a con if I am also selling there. That is kind of coming from my brand. And you have to send me one. And also no AI. If folks want to send me things, I do have a P.O. box, but I don't necessarily put the address out there all the time because I get a little skittish about getting fan mail. I am worried about people like sending me tracking devices or something. But if you've bought something from my store and you have my return address, then you know where my P.O. box is. I would also say nothing huge, because I have the smallest possible P.O. box. So I almost want to say a rule about, like, nothing that isn't flat. If it can't fit through a mail slot, I can't take it. You know? Maybe I want to make these a little bit more purpley. Yes. They could also give it to you at a con if they're going to see you. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Because like I said, I have had that happen before where people will just like give me things at cons. No life-size equestrian statues? How would you even ship that? But yeah, I've been debating for a while putting like my P.O. box address just online if people wanted to send fan mail. But and this sounds so fucking like, oh, I'm just so popular. And I don't mean it like that. I just worry that it would get overwhelming. So, you know. No not safe for work is a good rule. I would say no not safe for work for the minors, obviously, but like I'm not gonna say no not safe for work blanket rule. Maybe don't send me that or sell merch of it, but I mean, I don't care what people draw on their own time. Like, again, as long as it's not the minors, like, don't do that. But like, whatever, I'm not gonna... It's whatever to me. I don't want to see it, but I'm not gonna say people can't draw it. Again, like, not of the minors, and it's something I'm not really interested in, but I can't stop people from drawing what they want to draw. Besides, most cons you can't sell not safe for work merch anyway. So, I feel like that rule is kind of already in the contract of most conventions, so... Just be safe with P.O. boxes, the amount of horror stories with tracking devices. Exactly, that's kind of what I'm saying is like, nothing, it has to be flat. It must be flat. It's like, if there is even the possibility of a tracking device being in this, I'm not gonna open it. Type of thing. Also, no gore in general. Again, I don't care. Like, again, like, I would prefer, like, don't do that for the minors, like, don't do that for the kid characters, but I'm not gonna tell people, like, what they can and can't draw. The rules I have are fine. We don't need to be adding a bajillion more extra rules. I'm not gonna micromanage what people draw. I might not want to see it. No gore of the girl who canonically got impaled. Like, listen, gore doesn't bother me. And I mean, quite frankly, like, not safe for work stuff doesn't bother me either, really. It's a little weird to see not safe for work art of yourself, which has happened, unfortunately. So I'm not a huge fan of that, but I mean, like, I mean, I'm not gonna, it's like, I am neutral on not safe for work art as a concept. I've read some weird shit in the past just to be like, well, now I'm curious. And then I just go read like a whole BL manga and I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that was a fetish. It's like, well, I'm not into it. I'm ace. This is doing nothing for me, but now I feel like an anthropologist. Show me what you're cooking, I guess. I'm not gonna come in the kitchen with you, but you can show it to me from a respectable distance. And they'll be like, look at my thing that I made. And I was like, wow. Okay. Are you having fun? And they'll be like, yeah. And I'm like, are you harming people by making this? And they're like, not really. And I said, okay, cool. Thumbs up. Whatever. Cause yeah, I've gone down some weird rabbit holes. About never mind. But yeah. It's like, I feel like the internet in general has gotten very prudish. My thing is just like, you know, maybe don't draw lewds of the minors, but like, I'm not gonna police what people can and cannot draw of my characters. BL nature documentary, basically. You to finish that sentence? No. No. I read a really weird one recently, where it was just like, I saw there was like an artist who I follow, and I'm not gonna say who because I don't want you guys to go find it. But they drew fan art for this really, really strange BL. And I was like, I am curious enough that I am going to go search this out. And then I did, and I read the whole thing, and I was like, wow, there's like 12 fetishes in here I didn't even know existed. And I was just scrolling. It was doing nothing for me. And I was like, wow, damn. They really can just put anything anywhere, huh? That's how I feel about spicy stuff. It's like, listen, it's not for me. But I feel like for the people it is for, it's fine. Whatever. Whatever. I think not safe for work can harm people even if those people choose to look at it willingly. Then don't look at it. If it's harming you, then stop looking at it. That does not mean that it does not have the right to exist. You know? It's like, you can't police art like that. You just can't. It does, like, stuff needs to exist. And you know, like, I have boundaries. I'm like, okay, I'm not a fan of XYZ thing. I would really prefer it if XYZ thing did not, like, I don't want to look at it, so I don't seek it out. You know? I don't want to see not safe for work, so I don't look at it. It's allowed to exist for the people who like it. Exactly. Exactly. And I feel like people will go on like these moral crusades, but like, I'm not gonna be on the side of the people who are saying that certain art does not deserve to exist, because that is a very, very extremely slippery slope to who gets to decide what art does and does not get to exist. I'm not sure if not safe for work should be banned, but I definitely think it's bad in general. Incorrect. Wrong. Wrong opinion. Not safe for work art is allowed to exist. It's fine. You're allowed to be neutral on it. You're allowed to not like it, but that does not mean that it does not need to exist. And it's not bad in general. It's just art. It just exists. You're allowed to have opinions on it, but if you don't like it, then just don't seek it out. Because, like, what if someone decides that something in Cast Off should not deserve to exist, and they're able to make, like, a very compelling point about it, and they're saying, I hate this thing, and therefore I think it should not exist. Well, a lot of people really like this comic. Does that one person have more sway? Does their opinion mean and matter more than all of the people who enjoy this thing and it's not hurting anyone? Like, if we get very, very close to, like, book banning and, like, all this other shit, is like, you cannot be morality police. Sometimes people are gonna make stuff that you don't like, and just because you don't like it does not mean it does not get to exist. You know? So if there's something you don't like, that is your responsibility to make sure that you don't see it. Not hurting anyone is the sticking point there, I think. It's not hurting anyone by existing. It is not. If you don't like it, then you have the responsibility of taking the time, like, you know, people need to tag their not safe for work art. I will say yes this. Is like, people, if you're gonna post not safe for work stuff, you need to tag it appropriately so that people can avoid it if they want to. But you, as a person on the internet, your responsibility then is to take the time to make it so that you don't see that stuff. Like, I'll be honest, I hide not safe for work art on, like, Blue Sky and stuff, because I'm not interested in it. I have my, like, safety filters on so I don't see, like, random pictures of naked people on my feed, because I don't want to see that. That doesn't mean I think, oh, this is terrible, it shouldn't exist. It's like, no. I just take the steps to make sure that I don't see it, because I do not want to see it. But yes, that does require other people, like, making sure to tag their stuff, and I feel like that is a person's responsibility. If you're making that sort of thing, you need to tag it appropriately. Sunny Dionysus, member for 20 months, thank you! Just wanted to thank you for this W. Thank you. Appreciate the membership, thank you. There's an issue with some not safe for work stuff of certain characters kids watch. Yeah, and, like, there's also, like, a huge conversation about just, like, the nature of internet safety, and you need to be, you know, making sure that your kids can't access that kind of stuff. If you are posting the not safe for work stuff, you need to make sure that it is tagged appropriately so that people can't find it if they are too young to see it. But it's like all the stuff with people trying to, like, putting, like, restrictions on the internet so that people can't. So think of the children. Yeah, you know who should be thinking of the children? Their parents, who are responsible for their, like, activity on the internet. You give a child unrestricted internet access, and they're gonna find stuff they shouldn't be looking at. I know. I did this. I looked at things I was not supposed to when I was a wee baby. But, like, come on now. I don't know. My take on it is, I am an adult, and I am sure that there are some things that I enjoy that other people would not. And the fact that other people don't enjoy it does not mean it should not exist. Monitoring kids' activity is on the parents, not the posters. Exactly. If a minor is looking at tag not safe for work art, it's not the artist's responsibility. Exactly. I don't think it's always directly harmful, but it definitely can be. Can be does not mean in every single circumstance, and honestly, I'm done with this argument. Like, I'm sorry, but I am done arguing this with you. But I'm, like, I don't want to sound like a bitch, but, like, I am standing firm on this. If you don't like it, you don't have to seek it out. And if you are hurt by an image that you purposely sought out, that is your fault. That is on you. It is your responsibility to protect your peace by not purposely going out and looking for things that you know are going to harm you. That is called internet self-harm, and it is a real thing, and you need to stop doing it. Like, if I have specific triggers, I'm going to block those words so that I do not see them. And if you do not take that responsibility, then that is on you. You know? Anyway, thoughts on Goku. I think that Goku's muscles would be fun to draw. But yeah. I don't know. My take on it is I am 30 or 40 years old and I don't need this. It's like, I'm very done with this argument. It's just like, listen, if you're young and you think that there's something that you don't want to see, then take the steps to not see it and leave people who are posting it alone. Like, you are not going to be judge, jury, and executioner for the entire internet, and you need to stop acting like you are. Can tell she's done with the argument just by her voice. Yeah, like, I don't get serious like this very often, but can we see the Hamtaro drawing again? I did delete the Hamtaro drawing. Or did I? No, I just hid the layer. You're right. Let's look at Hamtaro again. Hi, Hamtaro! Hi, Hamtaro! Hamutaro! That's my little guy right there. The instant serotonin boost that is coming into my brain. Hi, Hamtaro! I think that this dress needs glitter. I think it definitely needs glitter on the lighter parts. Where is it? I think I just made it almost the exact same color and it's just not showing up. Yeah, there it is. I think that's the spiciest I've gotten on a stream in a while. I don't usually get that spicy. My thing is, like, I don't usually put my opinions out there very much because I don't want to fight with people. It's like, I'm not interested in debating randos on the internet. And so I keep my opinions to myself. That does not mean I do not have them. I just don't shout them with a megaphone. You know? I have my opinions, but I usually just keep them to myself. Because I don't like getting spicy. But sometimes, I'm allowed a little bit of spicy as a treat. We're kind of going for like a chiffon kind of color. I'm actually going to do the darker sparkles with this brush. Change the color a little bit. Saturate and make it a little bit lighter. Add some dimension to it. You handle conflict very professionally, makes your page feel like a safe place. I am glad you think so. I do my very best to not get involved in conflict, period. But I like to think that when I do have opinions, I can be professional about them. Like, hey, maybe let's be normal. My opinion is always just be normal about things. Just be normal. It's fine. It's fine to be normal. Let's all be normal together. Yes. Yes. Glitter. Yes. This is me just like making the same face that that one kid from the I love coloring meme. Yes! I love glitter! Also, man, sorry, I promise I'm just gonna say this one thing and then we're gonna drop it. I'm gonna say one more thing and I'm gonna drop it. Guys, I have a cousin who's a sex worker. You're not gonna convince me that, like... like, we're okay, like, listen, it's fine, it's normal, and I have, from a very young age, been of the opinion that as long as everyone involved is consenting adults, it's fine. And, like, my family largely agrees with that. So, you know, just be responsible, be normal. And we can all just be normal together and it'll be fine. So, there you go. I have her bumper sticker on my fridge! From the one sketchbook tour. Yeah, my cousin Scarlett, she works at a strip club. And we're all very proud of her. Because of all the cousins, she probably makes the most money. What's your cousin's socials? Oh god, she probably has them. And honestly, she'd probably appreciate the boost, but I honestly don't know if she's got socials. Like, she must. She must. But I don't actually know what they are. I've never looked it up. I could probably find her, though. You know what? I'm curious. I'm just gonna... Yep, there she... Of course, that's her handle. It's her name and then a 69 afterwards. And I'm like, of course it is. That's very her. I love the sketch of, yes, that's my butt. Oh god, yeah, that was funny. It was so... That night was so much fun. I'm not gonna say dreading. I wasn't dreading going, but I was just kind of like, this is just gonna be like a thing, and I'm just gonna go, and I'm just gonna get some figure drawing out of it, and then we'll leave. But it ended up being surprisingly fun, and then, you know, everybody was coming up and being like, oh my god, are you drawing us while we're dancing? Can I see? And I'm like, yeah, all of y'all have, like, the same hairstyle, so it's hard for me to tell people apart. But then there was like this one very iconic pose that I drew, and the one girl was like, oh my god, that one's totally me, you can tell by my ass. And I'm like, it was so cute. It was very funny, because my other cousin was sitting next to me the whole time, and he kept, I guess like the family drama is that he has a crush on one of the other dancers, and he was like, they keep coming over here to see what you're drawing. You're like the best wingman ever. I'm taking you everywhere with me. And I'm like, listen, I can't afford to live in Pasadena, so you're SOL there, my friend, but it was funny. It was funny. That was a good evening. It was fun. Oh, I forgot to give Ariana blushies. What the fuck am I doing? Hello? I made someone happy. I made several someones happy because I sent my cousin photos of all the drawings I did. I'm like, here, you can give these to all the other dancers. Throws them at you. And she was very excited. And I'm like, I feel like next year I gotta bring friends. Just Lightbox weekend, we all traverse down to the strip club where Star's cousin works. And we just all draw the dancers all night. I would do it. Like, this is actually a thing I maybe want to do for Lightbox next year. Ask some friends if they want to go. Sounds like a great art study. Honest to God, it is. Because the thing is, they move so fucking much. You have to draw so fast. I filled 16 pages of my sketchbook in about 2 hours doing figure studies. And I was drawing like 5 or 6 per page. I never posted my strip club drawings online anywhere, did I? I think I posted them for patrons on the Discord. But I don't think I posted them anywhere else. I can find them really quick. Because I posted them for patrons on Discord. Yes, I have located them. Here, let me find a spread that I really like. Yes, I like this one. Here. Here's my page. Here's my page of strip club drawings. So the club that my cousin works at is specifically a bikini bar, so there is no nudity and there is no touching. They just get up on stage and they do dances. But these two are definitely my cousin. I forget about this one, but these two are definitely her. This was an outfit that she had. This was like her cowboy outfit. And then she, over the course of the thing, took off the hat and the jacket. But yeah, so there's a couple. There was one girl with like this really high, really long ponytail. And I kept wanting to draw her just because I wanted to get that line of action in there. Oh, this is the one where the girl was like, yeah, that's my ass. Oh, no, wait. Or is that a different one? No, that one. Let me find the one where the girl was like, yes, that's my ass. It's this one. It's this one. Create new from clipboard. Yeah, so this one is the one where the girl was like, oh yeah, that's my ass. And there's Ponytail Girl again. I just really like drawing the ponytail in motion. But yeah, these were fun. This was a good night. It was very entertaining. And again, you have to draw so fast. So fast. Hi, Hamtaro! Hi, Hamtaro! Why do some of them look like they have Uma ears? Where are you seeing that? What are you seeing that looks like Uma ears? Oh, I think she had like a cat girl headband on or something. I think that's what that one was. I'm not sure where else you're seeing that. Let's look at Hamtaro again. Hi, Hamtaro! Hi, Hamtaro! Hi, Hamtaro! Light Cream, thank you for the super chat. Watching your streams always makes me want to draw. It's very nice to have you in the background. You always have fun convos. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Glad you like the streams. Okay, bye, Hamtaro. I'd put Hamtaro just like up in a corner somewhere, but then I feel like then it would show up in the. You know what? You know what? You know what? Hold on. I'm doing something. Oh, fuck you. It's a web P. I'm gonna commit a crime. I need a PNG of Hamtaro. Don't ask why. I need a PNG of Hamtaro. Please. Here, this one is not a PNG, but it's cute. Save image. And then we take this Hamtaro. Here. We'll put a little Hamtaro in the corner down here. Now we can all look at Hamtaro. We can all look at Hamtaro while we draw. Everyone say hi to Hamtaro. I'm not using the stream recording of this artwork, so it's fine that he's there. Hi, Hamtaro. When's the Hamtaro themed mail club? Honestly, Maybe someday. I feel like that would be a lot of fun. I feel like Hamtaro is classic enough that I could get away with it. I love Hamtaro, man. That's my boy right there. Bijou was always my favorite character, though. I remember very specifically I loved Bijou a lot because she was a cute little girl hamster. My other favorite was Sandy because she got she had the closest thing to a little ponytail and she had stripes and I liked her. I liked Sandy. I like Sandy and I like Bijou. Those are my two favorites. Those are my babies. Sticker sheet of them is Hamtaro. If we do a Hamtaro mail club, I will probably do a sticker sheet. It will be like Cats Off. I was looking forward to Hamtaro being in the next new YouTube video. Nah, for mail club pieces, I just use the raw time lapse from Clip Studio because the videos are a lot shorter. Hamtaro was one of those shows where I would like run home from the bus stop to watch it after school. Hamtaro and Pokemon were like my two favorite shows when I was that age. Those were my jams. Give them a little outline there. Now I have to do the background. Actually, before I do the background, let me do my big glowy shinies that I love to do so much. My big glowies. I love to do my big glowy, like blooming highlights very much. Add a little bit more kind of glowies, perhaps, maybe. I just want this whole piece to look like very glittery, very flowy, very just like wow, 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 shiny, pretty ball gowns. Whee! I want Marina to look like a little princess. You love this for her. She's a pretty princess, exactly. And Ariana is just like, oh my god. Oh my god, am I gay? We love that sparkles! Okay, now I have to do the background. The background. It'll be fine. I can handle it. I'm a big girl. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. Like I said, I'm gonna redo the flats because I just kind of roughed them in before the stream just to have like a general idea of what color things would be. But I am gonna actually go back in and do it properly now. Because, like, you can see, like, these flats are kind of rough. I just kind of blorked them in real fast. It's like up here, you can really tell. I just wanted to get the approximate colors of everything so that I could go in and then hash it out better. Guys, it's Friday. It's the weekend. It is the weekend! Beep, 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 beep. I'm gonna work on writing this weekend and I'm excited about it. I'm excited! I'm gonna work on writing for Azure Mirage. I'm gonna try and get a more thoroughly revised version of Chapter 3 done, like Lapis's Chapter 3. And then I'm gonna try and do some more on Chapter 4. I would love to have a finished version of Chapter 4 done by the weekend, even if it sucks. 3-day weekend too? Ah yes, a 3-day weekend if you're not self-employed. Today was kind of the start of my 3-day weekend because I finished my comic pages so early. So it was kind of a 3-day weekend for me. It just started on Friday. I don't get 3-day weekends, chat. We're gonna do some little stars. Some little twinkle stars outside the windows. I'm gonna center them more towards the top because in a sky that's more light, you can see fewer stars if the sky is not as dark. More light there is, the fewer stars you see. So kinda too much. I might put the moon there. What if I put the moon there? Maybe I put the moon there? Do we put the moon there? I think, chat, maybe we put the moon there. Maybe we put the moon there? Moon? Moon? Stars in front of the moon? It's bad, shitty stars. Shitty science. Stars cannot be seen in the moon. The moon! Is Cast Off in the same universe as Azure Mirage? No. Cast Off is kind of in its own... Cast Off is its own thing. Azure Mirage is going to be just kind of an ongoing fantasy universe that I'm developing, but it is significantly different from Cast Off. It is its own thing. And I'm going to be making a lot of videos about it, so I hope y'all are prepared. Actually, here's a good thing to talk about, is that I am not using D&D lore for the next randomized characters video. I'm actually using some Azure Mirage lore, which means that you guys are going to get some more Azure Mirage lore in the next video. Ha 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 hee hee hee. Where's all my cloud brushes? Where are my cloud brushes? Well, put some clouds in here. I'll put some clouds in here because it's fun. I don't want them to be too dark. And that looks more like trees, which is not really what I'm going. Whoa, now it really looks like trees. Maybe we can just. I've decided against clouds, actually. Star says no clouds. Okay, and now we're gonna do the actual flats of the building. I'm gonna turn off the stroke around the characters, though. Just gonna make them all the same color, and then we'll rough in the different bits later. Oh! I fucked up! Chat, I fucked up. Crisis averted. Crisis averted. I've unfucked the situation, chat. You're welcome. I unfucked it. Forgot to draw a detail on the frame. Also, I may or may not have put this chandelier here very specifically to make up for that one time that I drew a chandelier in cast off and then immediately covered it up with word balloons. That may be the reason that there is a chandelier here. Maybe that is the reason. Nobody make fun of me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. I made a post on Blue Sky. Maybe someone will be kind enough and like, oh my god, I did it over here too. Oh. Oh. Okay, we're good. Hey, did you guys know Control Shift and then clicking on something automatically takes you straight to that layer? Makes things go very fast. Makes things go like Zoom. MCreeper88, thank you for the super chat. My mama forced me to eat the neighbor's minivan again. Well, did you get your vitamins out of it at least? It's a lot of iron. Probably. What vitamins do you guys think are in a minivan? I don't actually know. Man, you know, this is so off topic, but listening to this music reminded me. You know what I have been itching to do recently, chat? You know what I've been itching for recently? I am kind of feeling like I really, really, really want to go back and play some older Pokemon games. I miss Gen 5. I miss basically Gen 3 through Gen 5 of Pokemon. And I feel like I want to go back and replay some of the old faves. I like Pokemon. Does that work for finding random dots in the artwork? Yeah. But I also use it to very, very quickly jump between different layers. It's way easier. Especially if you don't name your layers. It makes it way easier to just like be like, oh, I want to go fix this. Click. coming together. It's coming together, I think. And it's looking pretty alright if I do say so myself. Definitely gonna be changing the color. And see, I need to fix this thing in the ink, so I'm just gonna Control Shift, click on the little line that I need to erase, and then Control Shift click, and it takes me right back to my flat slayer, and I can just keep going. It's like witchcraft. Witchcraft and whimsy is what we're calling this. And then what color do I want the chandelier to be? Oh, I already have a flat color for the chandelier. Thank you, past self! Oops. And I missed a spot because the chandelier is so fucking weird. My weird tentacle-looking chandelier. Don't tell anybody, but I traced the 3D model. You'll be able to see it in the time-lapse, but nobody tell anyone. Nobody tell on me. Love how Hamtaro is hanging out in the corner. That's where he lives. That's where he lives, is the chandelier on Blue Sky screenshot or a video. It's a screenshot, so if you go through my media tab, you should be able to find it. That would happen, and I still did it. My weird little silhouette people causing problems. I'm literally simping over Lapis. I first saw her, I screamed, I hope you feed me more of her art sometimes. I've actually been... I need to work on this. I might work on this over the weekend. I have... Where is it? I have a piece of her and Laz that I started, and I haven't, like, done more than a sketch of. Where is it? Should be around here somewhere. But... I could have sworn I downloaded it. Maybe I didn't. Or maybe I deleted it because I thought I downloaded it and I hadn't actually. That sounds like something I would do. I know it's on my drive still, I believe. Yes. Download. Show me this. So I want to make this into a into like a wallpaper for my computer and also a print. Where it's like, so basically the idea is like it's a puzzle and Lapis is the pattern on the puzzle piece, and then like the pieces are kind of scattered everywhere. But then you see Laz kind of behind the puzzle pieces, and it's like, ooh, metaphorical, ooh. Ow! But yeah, I've been meaning to work on that. I want to try and get that done so that I can bring it to Emerald City Comic Con and be a print. I need to work on that.
Maybe I will do it this weekend. We shall see.
Okay, what color did I make these stairs? Like this. Hey, fun fact about the, another Clip Studio fact. You can click and drag the fill bucket. Award me a Medal of Lapis's #1 fan. Or second, I know you love her the most. Good, you know your place. Did I? I know I inked behind these characters. Ah, that's what happened. I did a little oopsie doodle. Like, I know I deleted. I know I still had. I definitely drew more of that staircase and I was just like, where is it? Where's the rest of it? I found it. It's okay, guys. You can stop panicking. Yes, having a keyboard speed up the drawing process? Absolutely, especially if you learn your keyboard shortcuts. Big art pro tip, learn your keyboard shortcuts. And if you want to get crazy with it, you can even code your own keyboard shortcuts. I say code, which makes it sound a lot more complicated than it actually is, but making your own custom keyboard shortcuts is super duper easy and everyone should do it. Because I basically have one hand on my keyboard at all times when I'm drawing. And I'm just like constantly doing keyboard shortcuts. Like, you guys can probably hear it. You guys can probably hear me clicking because I have a mechanical keyboard and it's kind of loud. You're like, are you guys hearing my keyboard? Do you hear the keyboard? Yes. Whee! See how much faster that was? You can just click and drag. I love my best friend Phil Bucket. Philip J. Bucket Esquire. You a fun keycaps kind of person? I wanna be, but I'm so sad. I found one set of keycaps that I fucking love, but the main place that sells them is just kind of like, it kind of seems like very cheapy type of materials. And I'm like, aw, but they're pretty. But I'm also like very picky with keycaps. I feel like that is a rabbit hole I will eventually fall down. But for right now, my money is being spent on fancy stationery. Because you guys, I am trying so hard. Guys, I am trying so hard not to buy a $400 fountain pen right now, and it's killing me. Oh, guys. Listen, I told myself that if I ever found the perfect Verity fountain pen, I would splurge. And it's not the perfect Verity fountain pen, but God, it's pretty. Let me show you guys this, 1 second. Okay, I will show you this, but you guys have to promise me that you will not buy it for me. Do not buy me a $400 pen on Throne. Holly, no. Holly, this is directed specifically at you. No. I'm not even gonna tell you what it's called, because no, I would feel horrible. I would feel horrible, but look at how pretty it is. It's got little sparkles on the cap. cap. It's got little sparkles on the cap, and it's very purple, and it's pretty. And it's a Sailor fountain pen, which are supposed to be really good. We're buying it now. No. It's so pretty, chat. And I'm like, I was a good girl, and I talked myself out of buying an expensive new couch this month. Because I don't need a new couch right now. I'll be fine without a new couch. So, like, I could say, good job for being responsible, Star. You can't. It's okay, my life is making me poor currently. No, Holly, no. I'm just, Some of y'all like to spoil me, and while I do appreciate it, I worry about y'all's financial situation sometimes. Because my thing is, like, I feel weird accepting gifts from people sometimes because, like, I could just buy that thing myself. Especially, like, expensive stuff, you know, like this. There's, like, this fucking pen. It does come with a bottle of ink, and nice bottles of fountain pen ink run, like, 30, 40 bucks, so that is increasing the price. And it's an import because it's Sailor, and I think it's, like, I don't know if it's Japanese, but the brand is Asian, I believe. I'm not sure if it's, like, Japanese or Chinese or whatever, but that bumps up the price pretty significantly. But I'm just like, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And it's a limited edition, which makes me feel like if I don't buy it now, I'm not gonna get it, but it's pretty. Good job for being responsible. Go reward yourself. If I buy this for myself, it's gonna be a yay. I did. No! Don't put it in chat. No, God. You should make a video using it. Okay, see, that's the thing, is that my friends did point out that if I put the pen in a video, it's a business expense. So, God, that's my next video, turning expensive fountain pens into characters, and then it's a business expense. Jet Pens is Japanese, but Jet Pens is a retailer. They're not the actual people who are making the pens. Sailor is the company that makes the actual pens. That's a tax write-off, baby! Yeah, I mean, like, if I do buy it, I do feel like that is how I'm gonna justify it. Is like, hey, I could just make this a business expense. Turning fountain pens into characters. How hard would you guys cringe at me if I actually did that? You have to tell me. How hard would you guys cringe if I made it so shameless and it's like, here, a video about turning expensive stationery into adorable characters and just use it as a tax write-off. Okay, but like, honestly, that would be kind of funny. That would be kind of funny. I would laugh and watch the whole thing. It reminds me of that one. I don't remember what video it was in, but there was a Super Eye Patch Wolf video where he's like, much like a YouTuber wearing all their most expensive clothes in videos to be tax write-offs, and then he had some other point that he made, but he was just like, he just walked onto the screen and for one shot he was wearing like he was wearing like all these nice clothes, and he just very blankly said into the camera, he's like, you know, much like how YouTubers will sometimes shoot videos wearing their most expensive clothing so it counts as a tax write-off. And he just stares blankly into the camera for a couple seconds and then continues with his point. And I'm like, yeah, get that bag. One must in this economy. Jokes aside, I have wanted to do a video, like very seriously, I have wanted to do a journaling video. Fuck, I dropped my pen. I dropped my pen. Oh God, it's dark. Where'd it go? Tablet pen, Dolka. Oh no, I lost it and my lights are all turned off and I can't see shit. I can't see shit. I need to turn a light on real quick. Oh wait, I have my desk lamp. I have a lamp on my desk. Maybe that will be bright enough. My pen, where is my tablet pen? I dropped it and it had vanished into this. My dark pattern rug. Okay, but like seriously, where the fuck did it go? Tablet pen! Oh my God! Well, yeah, sure, if it lands perfectly on the one little square of fucking foam I have under my desk and just completely blends in, and there goes my light. It has come unmoored from my desk. I will fix it later. Anyway, what I was saying is that I have been wanting to do a video where I just talk about journaling and how good it's been for my brain and like the positive aspects from it and what you can get out of it, la ba da ba dee ba da ba da. The main reason I haven't yet is mostly just because I don't know how to tackle the subject of just like journaling in general. Because I'm like, I could just, you know, sit here and talk. I just haven't figured out exactly how I want to tackle it yet, you know? So I'm like, I don't know what the thesis of this video is. I don't know, like, what the story of the video is. It's like, I could, you know, just, like, make it an art story time video, but I haven't figured out exactly how I want to do it yet. So I haven't done it yet. But I figure at some point I want to make a journaling video specifically because, like, if you guys don't know, I have kept a journal and I have written in it every single day for over a year now. And it has been genuinely so fucking good for my brain. Just, like, having that brain dump at the end, like, because that's just part of my routine, is every single night I sit down in my bed with all my little stationery supplies, and I spread them out all over my bed, and I take usually it's like 20 minutes, and I fill a full page in my daily journal, and then I pack it all up and I go to sleep. That is my nightly routine. I have not missed a single day of journaling since I started, and it has genuinely been, like, so beneficial, especially because, like, I was going through some rough stuff last year, and that helped me process it a lot. And I just really like journaling, and I think it's a really good hobby to get into. Trying to turn my mom into a journal girly. Slowly but surely we're getting there. But yeah, the main reason I haven't made a video about it yet is I just don't know how exactly to make a video about it. Gonna journal about this. I'm probably gonna talk about the stream in my journal tonight. Yeah, that's what I do. My journals are usually just like a combination of the first, like, usually paragraph of my journal entries for any given night is just me, like, kind of talking about what I did that day. Just like, yeah, I did this, and this is kind of how I feel about it, and then I did this is how I feel about it, and then I usually either go into just, a lot of my journal entries lately have been just talking about, like, work. It's been me, like, my journal has been my think out loud space for, okay, I think I want to make a video on this topic, and then maybe after that I can do a video on this topic, and then a lot of my journal entries lately have been just, like, me musing about work. But I also, you know, use them to process feelings. Like, I had a really weird dream the other night, and it was kind of bugging me, and so I wrote about it in my journal just a little bit. And it was the type of thing where I'm like, okay, I wrote about it, I'm probably gonna bring this up to my therapist during my next session. And just kind of, like, talk about the emotions for a little bit. What the fuck happened here? Oh, you know, yeah, that's what happened. Okay, I figured it out. There was, like, a mask on a layer. And it was, I think part of my staircase was missing because it was getting affected by that layer mask. And then when I deleted it, it also deleted this part. Where it was getting, because the inks for is complicated, shit doesn't matter. Fucking chandeliers over here making my life harder. what happened. I assume there's a question about the dream. It was just kind of like, I'm not going to go into detail, but it was basically, I had a falling out with some people a couple years ago. And it's the type of thing where it's like, I want to think that I'm over it, and then those like people will show up in my dreams, and it makes it very clear that I am not over it, actually. And so it's just like, stop haunting me. It's that kind of thing. This was like pre-COVID drama, so it's old. But I've been doing EMDR in therapy, which is like the process of, you know, like kind of reprocessing things. Because one of the fucked up things about that whole event was I never really got proper closure because of the pandemic, just kind of fizzling everything out. And so it's just kind of left me with a cacophony of weird feelings. Stop haunting me, Starfishface 2026, yep. But yeah, I'm not gonna go into detail here or anything, but it's just like, you know, sometimes you lose friends and it fucking sucks, and it will do things to your brain that you will have to pay a lot of money in therapy to help with. But like, for the most part, I'm okay. It's just like, you know, sometimes you just think about that incident and you just get mad all over again. It's that kind of thing. Where it's just like, oh, god damn it, that fucking sucks so bad. Rah! It's like, that shit fucking sucks so bad. I just popped in, are you good? No, I have rabies. I have rabies and I'm gonna bite everybody in stream. I showed my brother the fucking Strange Eons video about the person on Tumblr who was like, rabies is not a disease, it's a sexual identity. And I was just like, hey brother, do you want to see a really weird video? And he was like, what? And then I showed him the rabies video, and it was just him and his girlfriend, and we were all sitting on the couch together. And the look on their faces was just like, I have irreparably damaged these people's psyche. Who wants cheesecake? That was what I did last Saturday. Bitches eating cheesecake Saturday, bitches eating cheesecake, and watching video essays about Tumblr's sexual attraction to rabies. I will not be elaborating. Y'all can go dig that shit up on your own if you want to learn more. Ha ha, he 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 he, etc. Just look up Strange Eons rabies, and you'll find it. You can thank me later. And by thank, I mean, you know, dangle me off a balcony or some shit. I don't know. The cheesecake identifies as rabies. No, my beautiful cheesecake! Get the fuck. No, wrong there. Get the hour, go. Anyway, look at my babies. Look at my girly pops. Look at them. I'm making all of you look at them. So see what I did up here with like these little anime twinkle sparkles? Imagine that on the entire picture. And that's the goal. That's the goal, chat. We gotta do that on all of them. The whole thing. All of it. That's the goal. I don't think we're gonna finish coloring this one tonight. Cause we got like 20 minutes left and I wanna go eat dinner. But did you put the chandelier that got hidden by a speech bubble? Someone said, like, one of the mods said they were gonna try and find it, and I guess they didn't. It was a while ago that I posted it. Ooh, you know what I should do while I'm thinking about it? I should add some cool reflections. Not of you. Flip. Vertical. Underneath. I'm gonna lower the opacity. Yes. I'm gonna use, oh, wait, and then I'm gonna use my eraser and I'm gonna make it go, yes. And I'm gonna do the same over here. If that's that's not the right layer. I need to do this one. I need to excuse me, I need to duplicate it. And I'm gonna edit, transform, flip horizontal, or no, I need to flip it vertical. Transform, flip vertical. I'm gonna put it down here, and I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna lower the opacity, and then I'm gonna go schwa 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 schwa. Yes. Look at all these bitches ballroom dancing. Yeah, so if people want to see my fucked up chandelier, you know what? I could just grab it and post it real quick. This was something I yoinked off my my secret Twitter for y'all's amusement a while back. Here, and create new from clipboard. You ever just go, this panel needs something, and then throw a chandelier in there? Because I do, apparently. Wait, no function, goddammit! This was completely genuine. This was raw emotion. Is what this was. This was pain. So what happened is so lettering is one of the first things I do. So what happened was I had already lettered this whole page. And then I turned the bubbles off so I could ink and flat underneath the bubbles, the dialogue bubbles. And then I was like, you know what? This panel's pretty empty. I feel like there should be a chandelier up here. So I took like 20 minutes and I drew a chandelier in there. And then I turned the word bubbles back on and it just covered it so perfectly and completely. And I was like, fuck me. So that's why there's a chandelier here. It's not getting covered up by anything. That chandelier is gonna be so fucking visible the entire time. I'm making everyone look at it. Look at my fucking chandelier that I drew. It looks like an octopus has a bunch of just jingle jangles from it. That's why you put up dialogue first. But I did put the dialogue first! I did put the dialogue first! And then I turned off the layer so I could ink and color underneath the bubbles. And then while it was turned off, I was like, oh, there should be something there, I feel. And then I put something there, and then it was hidden by the fucking bubble that was already there! Ah! Anyway, I'm normal. I'm normal! Ah! I'm gonna put all these other little freaks in their own folder. Call them NPCs. Now I can just beep boop. I go ahead. Yeah, I think. Well, no, not that one. But I do. Organizing my layers a little bit. I'm gonna make a sky folder. I'm gonna put it down here. And I'm gonna draw, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna call this one, and I'm gonna label it flat, so I know. And now we're gonna shade things. Goodbye, pretty colors.
We're gonna get some very pink little shadows in here to make it really pretty.
Thank you for enlightening us on the chandelier drama. Holly, I'm killing Zara just for that. Just for that, I'm killing him. Hey, 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 is that how you respond to me killing your boy? No, there it is. There it is. God, what was the post I made on Blue Sky the other day where I was like, haha, easy website? I can't remember. What was it? I'm gonna look it up. So I made just like some dumb, stupid post. And it got like 200 likes for some reason. I can't remember what it was. Was it my stupid cheesecake post? I think it was my stupid cheesecake post. Yeah, bitches eating cheesecake Saturday. Just random, dumb fucking thing that I said. Because my brother and his girlfriend and I, we went out for cheesecake. And we all were just like sitting there eating cheesecake. And I was like, hey, you know, y'all know what this is? That's right. It's bitches eating cheesecake Saturday. And I thought that was funny, so I tweeted it. And it got like 100 likes on Blue Sky. And I'm like, haha, it's easy website. This is a weird thing to be talking about while we're listening to this very epic Zelda music. We're just gonna do some very, like, soft shading for the background, because I can't be asked to do anything more complicated. I saw the thumbnail and went, there's no way that this can't be that cute. And then I clicked the live stream, it is that cute. Yeah, it's cute and in its color now. My little babies. You don't blame the sins of the father on the son, or however that quote goes. Well, I'm not blaming Zara for your actions. I'm just killing him about them. That's not blame. That's sending a message. One must be more responsible with your words. With great power comes great responsibility. There's another fucking quote for you. Okay, maybe I will detail the shading on this a little more because it's supposed to be metal. And metal really loves hard shadows. I came up with another pun, but my boy, be responsible, Holly. You must be responsible, or your boy will pay for your sins. Do you ever self-insert? Hilarious question. Considering that pretty much at this point, all of my OCs are just like little bitty pieces of myself. One could say that the entirety of Cast Off is self-insert, like, fiction. Like, a lot of my characters are very similar to me. I'm just like, okay, and you're getting this part of my personality, and you're getting this part of my personality, and you're getting these neuroses, and you're getting this one. And that's just basically how it goes for, like, every single Blorbo. You know, some stories are more so that than others, but there have been, like, entire character arcs and stories that I have written specifically because I'm trying to get over some shit. Like, I'll go ahead and let you guys in on this. Azure Mirage, once we start getting deeper into that and y'all start, like, kind of seeing more of the themes, you will understand what I mean. But, like, Azure Mirage is very specifically based on, like, a specific question that I have pondered as a result of trauma. Just like, well, I have this bad thing that happened in my backstory, and, like, my backstory as a human person. What if I could, is like, this is a thing that is impossible, but what if I could do this? And then that got turned into the plot of Azure Mirage. So, I just think that's interesting. Did you guys know that you can click and drag for the Fill Bucket? My best friend, Philip J. Bucket! I think this is behind people. It is. Okay. I'm just gonna turn my people layer back on. Real quick. Oh, they are being cut off by the inks, though. I need to fix that. Ugh! Okay. There. Thanks. Was that? Yes. Okay, so I gotta go down here. And do some more of this. And do some more of this. Shh. 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 Look at my girly pops. They're so cute. I need to make this floor shinier. This floor demands to be shinier. You're gonna start by putting pretty highlights on the edges of the tiles. That's step one. And then and then Star was in a cult. It's not about the cult! The cult is a different thing. But yeah, like, pretty much all of my characters, in some way, are inspired by either, like, some part of my personality or some element of something. Like, some sort of trauma that I'm working through, or just some sort of, like, hey, what if this happened? Or, hey, what if a character was like this? And just me, like, playing with it. Like, everyone's trying to figure out who Chair Guy was, is, like, the person who made all the cast-offs. Joke's on y'all. If you want to go from, like, a meta perspective, Chair Guy is me. Because I just took all of, like, bits of my heart and soul, and I just put them into all of these little blorbos. And that's how you make OCs. Is you just, like, take little bits of yourself, whether you like them or not, and you just stick them in characters. You just give your problems to your blorbies. You're just glossing over the cult. The cult is different! Don't worry about it. Because, like, I've gotten better over the years, but I still definitely have my struggles with anxiety and feeling very sheltered, and that kind of got turned into Vector. Frankie is very much just like, I feel bad because I kind of like lost that optimism as I got older and went through some shit. But like Frankie is just that an eternal optimist, my sweet sparkly boy is like, a lot of my characters are, you are this thing about me, or you are this thing that I wish I could be. Ariana was kind of like, I wish I could like stand up for myself like this. She's kind of, I've joked that like she's the asshole I wish I could be. Because it's like, sometimes I wish I could say these things and I feel like I can't. And so I made a character who is just an asshole all the time. It's also partially because I just love the trope of like, character gets parentified because they wind up in the care of like a small little baby. And I love her very much. Ariana also came from like, oh my god, please, for the love of just thank you. Ariana also came from like some of my struggles with femininity when I was kind of going through, I was going through some shit in college. I don't want to call it gender shit because that's not exactly what it was. But I very much was kind of struggling against the ideas of like being a girl and like how you're supposed to act and all this stuff. And I just felt like I was not cute because I was too tall. And there was just like some other stuff going on there. I wouldn't call it like gender questioning because that's not really what was going on. But I made Ariana very specifically with like, you can be a pretty girl and also be pissed off, and that's allowed. And I was like, hell yeah, that's my girl right there. And so it's like, is a bounty hunter with like the long pretty hair practical? No. Is it fun to draw? Yes. Do I have a lot of value in this character's femininity? Also yes. It's just like, I feel like you don't get to see female characters get angry very much, and I just love that about her. Is like, yes, she can be a pretty girl, and she can rip people's throats out, and I love that about her. We're out here breaking traditional gender roles, babes. Get in the car. Get in, we're making the girly character the angry one. Let's fucking go. I love her. We love seeing pretty girls throw hands. Exactly! Exactly! You can still be cute and rip people's spines out through their ass. We love that for her! We stand feminine rage. Yes, exactly! I love she. I'm afraid to ask what Zara represents. Sad blonde man, that's what he represents. Honestly, Zara was less from me and more just from things that I like. And I love a sad man with a backstory. Y'all know me, I love intrigue. Zara was like one of the first characters I had figured out because I'm like, I want a sad boy with backstory in here. So I love that. He was one of the first characters I had fully designed and written. Like, Zara came before Frankie. Do you guys even realize that? Zara's been around for even longer than Frankie has. He predates Frankie by a long time. I'm locked in now. It's past 8. It's past stream stopping time. But I want to finish rendering this. I should stop and go eat dinner, but I want to finish. We're going into overtime, exactly. It's like we're so close, though. We're so close. Lighten up on these a little bit. Do. We're so close, says the perfectionist that is Star. Honestly, I do not consider myself a perfectionist at all. I am so often a person of just like, good enough, and then post it. That's me with like so many cast-off pages, it's not even funny. I'm just like, good enough. Like, there's a lot of cast-off pages where I'm like, this is not my best work. Post. If I was a perfectionist, I would not have almost 1,000 pages of a webcomic. I would have stopped a long time ago because I would have driven myself insane. It's like, you know, I want stuff to be done to the best of my ability, but I do not consider myself a perfectionist. Even a little bit. I'm gonna turn their little outline back on. Like a pale orangey yellow. Okay. Chat, are you ready? I think it is time to just slather this shit in sparkles. This is gonna be very flying by the seat of our pants. This is perfect music for this, thank you. It is just sparkle explosion time. First of all, we are adding some soft glowy gradients just to make everything look nice and glowy and pretty. We're just gonna lighten up the lighter parts of the image, especially towards the back here. Just the stuff that would be in the light coming from the ceiling. And also to help the characters in the front stand out a little bit more. Anything that would be in shadow, we're gonna keep darker. And we're gonna make another layer. That one's gonna be kind of like a little darker. And we are gonna put that in kind of the areas where shadow would be. So like kind of over here, this is like an overhang. We're gonna set that to multiply. We're gonna make it a little bit more saturated because I don't like desaturated shadows. I think they look boring. We're gonna make it a little bit lighter. Not go quite so much. I'm gonna grab whatever color that turned into. And a couple other places. Make like these little shadows down here a little bit darker and have a little bit more purple in them. Okay, and now what I want to do is I want to kind of like bring out some of these red and orange tones. So I'm going to grab a soft pink layer and I'm going to brush that on. I'm going to set it to overlay and we're going to just kind of bring out this pink a little bit more. I'm actually going to clean up this a little bit. Shadow layer. Not digging how that looks, especially over here. I don't want anything in the way back to be too dark. I'm going to go back to my pinks. I'm gonna schwa 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 schwa. Schwa schwa schwa. A little too dark though, so we're gonna change the color. We're gonna lighten it up a little bit. We're gonna have like these nice pinks. Pink. I love pink. Sakura Miku is my favorite. Just to like kind of bring out the colors a little bit. And then I really want like kind of, I think I want to make like this purple a little bit more blue. So I'm going to grab that, but I'm actually going to bring that down here so it's affecting the sky layer instead, because I don't want it to bleed. And add a little bit of blue to the sky because I feel like that's pretty. Okay, and then actually while I'm working on the sky, I'm going to add some specific sparkles to the background in the sky because I think that that is pretty. Where's my sparkles? Here they are. I love to add just like some silly sparkle shapes. I feel like it gives the picture a little bit of character. We're kind of shying away from realism. Going more towards haha silly little sparkle shapes. We're gonna do it on this window too. Da-da-da. Now we have some of our silly little sparkle shapes, but I am also going to add a couple more stars with just like my regular round brush. I feel like it needs some more. That's too big. It looks like a pretty night sky outside. Okay, so now what I'm noticing that behind these characters I think needs to look a little bit darker because they're kind of getting a little muddied over here. I'm going to take like a dark, kind of dusty pink, and I'm going to kind of fluff it in with a soft brush behind these characters. I'm going to set it to multiply. There's a gnat. That's a little too intense, but we're going to bump up the saturation a little bit and bump up the lightness a little bit, bump the saturation down. I might change like the actual color of those characters later though. I might, you know what, I might as well go ahead and do it right now. I'll just make the kind of the tops of them a lighter yellow. Yeah, that helps a lot. The idea is that you want to be making sure that your characters stand out from your backgrounds well. Actually gonna make that more purple. Kind of pinky purple. That's too dark. Okay. And now I'm just gonna do some color effects. I think I want a little bit of just like kind of lighting. We're gonna add some orange up here. That's pretty. This music is surprisingly fitting. I love Zora's Domain. Let's go. Okay, and now... Now it is sparkle time. Where's my bokeh brush? Here it is. I need my circle. Oh, wind. Need particle size to go up. I want big. Yes. Yes. This is like putting sprinkles on your ice cream right here. Yes! Yes! But we don't want to do too much all at once, so we're going to turn the opacity down just like a little bit. And now we're going to do another layer, and we're going to turn the particle size down, and we're just going to get some, like, little sparkles. I'm going to set it to add. And we're just going to do, like, some little sparkles. You want to vary the sizes of your sparkles, I find. Helps to create visual interest. Gonna blend out some of these. Come up and blend out some more. Opacity here. Okay, I definitely want to put a lot of sparkles on this chandelier because it's a very sparkly chandelier. So we're gonna do that. Sparkle, 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 sparkle. I'll lower the opacity a little bit. Sparkle, 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 sparkle. Blend them out a little bit, just so they're not quite so overwhelming. But I do think I want to put some more sparkles on the sky, because that's pretty. I want this to look like a motherfucking shoujo manga panel. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to come on top of the layer with all the characters, and we're going to put some motherfucking big-ass sparkles in the foreground. Oh, no, not in the folder, on top of the folder. Thank you! This is some dreamy, cutesy shit right here. Literally a fairy tale evening. That's the theme of the mail club. Okay, and now the pièce de résistance. Where is it? Where is this brush? Yes. Big sparkle. Just a little touch. A little touch of some pretty sparkles in key locations. Don't cover the chandelier. Oh God! Look at my pretty girlies! They sparkle! They sparkle! I love they! And just like a little bit more light. Actually, what if it was pink, though? What if it was pink, just kind of around the edges? Eee! Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of color balance because we really want like yellowy pink. And then we want the shadows to be kind of a blue. Halftones we can also make kind of bluey pink. And we're gonna turn down the opacity on that like a little bit. But usually what that does is that screws with our values a little bit. Oh, we could just do that, okay. Yeah. Very minor, but I can see the difference. Okay, and then because it's going to print, we need to do level correction. Yes, I always forget the name of the filter. If you're gonna be printing something, you need to crank up the brightness by like 10 to 15% depending on your printer settings. Oh, look at that. Mwah! Look at my girly pops. Look at them. Oh, that is a fucking fairy tale evening right there. Oh, I love them. I love my girly pops so much. They're so pretty. I did not think I was gonna get through this entire print tonight, but we did. Victory pose. Ah! We did it. So that will be the print for March. March Mail Club. Y'all are gonna be so mad at me later, but it's fine. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat dinner. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will see y'all in the next stream. Fare thee well, friends. Goodbye.